and we will be going to Metalworks right now. If you have just joined us, this is Team Fortress TV with Admirable, WARHURYEAH and Ducky. We're here for the ETF2L Season 17 powered by TT Esports Premiership Week 3 fixture. It's La Berrichonne de Châteauroux versus Lego. It's France versus Denmark. This is map 2. We just saw the first map, Badlands, go 5-0 to the Frenchmen of LBC. And it's all on Lego here to try and reclaim some points from this fixture. 3 out of the 6 points have already gone to LBC. There's 3 on the table here for Lego. I'm sure they'd be happy with even 1. Natural is such a defeat. This guy is like, oh, we don't expect to win. We're just happy to get any points. So we'll hear that in the interviews later, I hope.
Yeah, I think if they are going to take any maps or any points, I think it will be this one. With this map, though, I think quite a few teams don't really practice it because it's bad, to be honest. It's a terrible map. I hate it.
It's not bad. It's just gloomy, man. It's a psychological thing. It's all grey.
I never actually thought of that. So yeah, the fact that it is grey and it's really dull and depressing to play. I mean, I live in Barnsley, which is a depressing place to live. I don't want to play TF2 and be in a more depressing situation, but it is just a bit of a gloomy map. But I think overall it seems a bit messy. The rollout is just so boring. The middle is so boring. I mean, granted, I like the layout of second. It's quite a good way. I like the various routes you can take moving on to second, but middle is just it's so crap. It frustrates me. But
you're not really using any useful. It's not like create or constructive criticism. You're just saying it's crap. It's boring. But why?
I could go into a further on, but I think the rollout is poor and it doesn't really offer you any creativity. But the thing is that the way the map's set out, you've got the point on the middle and you've got 2 flat sides. So all it is just various teams just chipping away at each other until one person gets lucky and hits a direct pipe or something.
We're going to see that very exciting middle you're talking about come into reality right now as the game has started. And we are going here to the first middle of this LBC versus Lego game. And I'm watching the tech perspective. He's just playing up top on his left hand side, spamming that lower door, trying to deny the entirety of Lego, apart from Hellberg, who's jumped to the flank there. So Krizzle, who gets shut down by Demul, who also picked up Hellberg right at the start there. And with the sort of flank players or the aggressive action from Lego denied, they're just going to back out here.
Yeah, Demul just took out Krizzle and Hellberg on the flank straight away. I mean, I was saying that the flank was weak, but really on the middle, you should really be able to focus down one scout together, but they literally just lost against one person. It is definitely going to be affecting them throughout this game, I think, if they can't sort out their flank ASAP. I think now we're just doing a Mexican standoff on second, another enjoyable part of this map.
The structure of the middle as well perhaps allows Lego to be able to just sacrifice those 2 players and get out. Like F2 doesn't necessarily need to commit himself to still be able to heal people, but here on second, air shots galore rain down on Natural, who gets Ubered, and that was a defensive pop there from F2. They've actually lost 2 players throughout that because Lego were so bunched up, and it just took a lot of damage there from the superior deathmatch of LBC. They popped their Uber as well earlier, but they're going to continue here. They're going in dry. They're hunting down Danes left, right and centre. War, this isn't looking good right now for Lego.
Oh no, they're literally just being stomped right now. That is, I mean, the second push from the Frenchies was absolutely, it was really good. Natural got absolutely wrecked. He got I think he got airshot about 3 times, and from there that was it. I don't think Lego got out quickly enough. Once you've given up such a big position, as soon as you get caught out in lobby, you're dead pretty much straight away. I think
that damage from last round.
Yeah,
Tech put out 1,000 damage, and Dr. Phil doesn't even make the top 5. What is that all about?
I think, anyway, Tech is normally going from the left side, and I think now Lego are sort of moving onto the flank a little bit more. They're focusing it down, but they don't take anyone out, and
Big Pierre goes straight in, gets F2 and Zen. Tech is going to pick up a brace of his own, finds Krizzle and Dr. Phil. Hellberg and Natural are running back to second, looking for health kits, but they're being hunted down by Flippy. There's Pierre jumping forward as well, Captain Hacks. They spot out Natural on the lower side, so there's no real surprises here for the French team. They're going to be able to move forward and take CP4 for free.
Yeah, I mean, Lego did sort of maybe the right thing. I don't know. They were sort of going for the flank and try and kill them first. But I think both of the soldiers, the demo and both of the scouts, were looking at the flank, and then Captain Hack just like gets onto F2 for free and kills them. That was pretty poor. But there was a new broom from the Frenchies. they've got a full advantage to take out the heavy pretty much straight away. Although Dr. Phil gets taken out, I think it's now 3-2. And I think you're going to need to be lucky, but yeah, the Frenchies are now taking it again. I think the positional plays from LEGO are a bit poor. It's the sort of second time when F2 sort of, and the entire team have gotten caught out needlessly. On middles it was really slack because they just literally ditched F2 to go for 2 players. But they really need to change things up in middle again.
Usually, lads, the moment, you know, like if your soldiers are going in, one of your scouts steps back to sort of protect their medic, even if he's just standing in that doorway catching spam, is giving F2 a chance to survive. But Captain Hacks was all over that. Now we see LEGO again trying to come into middle, and they're already being shot out by the spam of tech. Captain Hacks is going to go in there and claim a frag onto Zen, but Crizzle gets a 2k, finds Bull and Tech there with a huge bomb, and this is looking good for LEGO. Their aggressive plays there worked while they just kept the other 4 back in the lobby in a relatively safe position.
I've never seen I've never heard of this tactic of losing mid for the first 5 seconds and then just killing everybody in the lobby and push out. That's quite it's either a stroke of genius, or I think the Frenchies maybe got a bit ahead of themselves, because they literally were just stomping on mid. I think we're going to see Flippy try and contest mid, but is a bit unlucky on that. But the Frenchies had fantastic position at the very start. They had everything over the point, but then they just dive forward into lobby, which isn't really a good position because it's so tight.
There's a med pack as well.
Yeah. But anyway, LEGO are just moving in through Ali on the left side. F2 and Natural are on the floor, and I think again the flank just looks like to be disconnected. Although Dimul's now sniping, and I think we're going to see some headshots come through.
Yeah, they got the foresight for those 2 frags, and Bull's in a commanding position now with 90%, but he's about to get pressure. The soldier jumps up, catches his foot on the top of that corrugated iron there. That was Natural, and he actually gets cratered by Bull as it ends up, but Bull has survived and now has a full overcharge. F2 isn't even on the field. Massive advantage here for LBC. It doesn't look like anyone from the Danish LEGO side wants to contest here, and that's probably the right move. They're going to sit back towards the lobby and control these tight chokes with spam, try and force out an overcharge. Let's see if the French want to go straight into that or try and work the flank again. It looks like they're going to alley here.
Yeah, it looks like either alley or underneath. The underneath push worked like incredibly well. It looks like they are going for it. Both solely jump on the point. Quite a few of the players are again quite out of position. Flippy, well, Zen gets taken down, although it's actually turning around for LEGO quite a bit as they pick up Captain Hacks and Demul. But I think again, there's actually pretty high. Oh wow!
Oh, Tech!
Oh wow!
Again!
What the fuck?
Tech with the huge pipes there.
Oh my god!
Oh wow, that's frag moving material right there.
It was looking so pretty good for LEGO, if I'm honest. They got pretty lucky with not getting completely obliterated, because LEGO, like, they didn't have Uber, but the Frenchies did, but for some reason some of the players still stayed in. But wow, that was some pretty awesome pipes. Tech literally just took that for himself, he did.
The soldiers themselves, like T-Mac and Captain Hacks, didn't seem to do much, so maybe that gave LEGO the false sense of security. They were like, yeah, we can hold this, no problem. But at some point, Tech toggled there and just killed everybody with amazing direct pipes. There's a sticky trap actually, just checking out the position of Phil's sticks. He's got some sticks on the inside of that little right hand side place. There's a force coming in. I think that was Natural forcing Bull to pop off. Headshot from Demil though onto Dr. Phil means no stickies to protect this point. And the repush here may come in from LBC as they find themselves with a man disadvantage. Captain Hacks thinks he's going to dive directly into a heavy weapons guy and gets mowed down. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, Captain Hacks doing what I normally do him for, but if I'm honest, this game has been doing really, really well. Nobody's really closing down that sniper, which is just giving them all like literally free reign of everything. I think if that was Flippy there, we'll probably see a 6-man by now, but at the moment there's a counter heavy from T-Mac, and I think it's going to pretty much just slow LEGO down trying to get second. They should be able to get it, but with that heavy up, it's going to make it very, very, very difficult. As T-Mac is literally just raining down some pain onto Dr. Phil and F2. He's actually doing quite a good job. He's really pretty much just stopped this push by himself, which really shouldn't have happened.
Phil landed a couple of pipes there against the heavy. He wasn't even being healed, but couldn't land the killing blow onto T-Mac. And now it's reverted back to an Uber versus Uber situation, but there's still a sniper and a heavy on the field for Lego. It's actually no sniper for the French anymore. Demille has switched off to scout. I wonder how they're going to deal with the threat of the sniper, and then wear down the 450 health and Uber charge that's surely going to be popped onto that heavy weapons guy as well. This is a tough one, tough cookie to crack here.
I'd like to apologise for swearing as well. I get it. That's me getting excited.
I didn't even notice. It must have been one of those polite English swears.
Oh, blast. But yeah, there's another Uber trade. It's actually going pretty well for Lego at the moment. Ball got quite out of position, Dimmel gets taken down pretty quickly, and the flank is actually working well for Lego for once, as Tech is about to get cleaned up. There's only Sahimak alive left in the lower lobby, and he takes out Natural. I think we might see a sneaky ninja play. He's going for F2, and he gets taken out by some good pipes from Dr. Phil anyway. It was actually a very, very good hold from Lego. I wouldn't really say it's a sloppy push from the Frenchies. They did struggle in getting out quite a bit. I think it was more unlucky from the spam. But they are playing with confidence, so they're going to make a few errors at some point anyway.
Lippy's still on sniper here, or it's actually spawned a sniper. And it's still Medigun for Bull, but he's at a disadvantage here, having died previously. F2's on 90, and Natural's ready to push here. If they continue forward here, use the momentum, they might be able to get even more frags, but they're hesitating a little bit. He sees the stickies here. Is he going to call for the charge? No, the dead comes in actually early from Tech. He does Uber eventually, but Natural is launched, or that's Crizzle actually who's launched skywards and not able to get much done. Phil's come in behind though from the lobby on the right hand side. He's trying to catch Bull off guard, but Tech is there as Guardian Angel. He's going to keep his medic alive. Phil's gone down, but so have Demille and T-Mac on the flank there, and it looks like, wow, Lego aren't even going to contest this, so they're going to play forward for the force.
I'm quite surprised by that. They should really sort of be a little bit more aggressive. I mean, I don't think they realised how out of position the Frenchies were. I mean, Captain Hacks still thinks there's somebody behind them, and you can even see that they're playing a little bit more defensive as they're looking to push out now, but they were quite out of position. You might as well send somebody forward, because by the time they push, you're going to get a forward respawn anyway. But now they're just gifting the Frenchies a free run on mid. Captain Hacks is now jumping in deep, takes out Crizzle, so it's actually a pretty good play by him. Crizzle again just hanging around on mid, but Lego are now recontesting with their Ruber. Dr. Phil taking out F2. It's pretty good. No, sorry, Bull.
LBC didn't realise how close Lego were, and that they had that Uber advantage. They went in and managed to get the medic, but as the Ubers faded, Flippy body shots F2. No shame in a body shot whenever there are TT Esports goodies at risk here, and of course the anonymously donated prize funds here in the ETF2L Premiership. But there's a back cap going on. Well, I don't even know if you could call it a back cap. There was Pierre behind on middle.
That was actually quite strange, because I don't think he realised he actually might have been able to cap that, but he walked off the point. I think that he knew there was a soldier around him, but Natural was in lower lobby, and he came off the point to run at Natural in lower lobby. If he stayed on the point, I'm pretty sure he might have actually been able to get that. But oh well, never mind. As for once, actually, Lego are now pushing on to their second. They're pretty much completely wrecking them in the lobby. The Frenchies need to sort of back out a bit, because they cannot stand there, as they're actually trying to start moving out. T-Mac jumps in, tries to get onto F2, and gets taken out, although it was a little bit, he did survive for a little bit too long at that point. They do seem to sort of struggle with the focus fire on Lego at the moment, but they've got a bit of confidence, it seems. They're actually on their last, and I think they're just going to go for a force play on the Frenchies.
They get it as well, a lot of spam coming in there, and it looks like everybody's going to make it out alive. There is one soldier trapped here, that's Natural, he's the pocket, so F2 is going to pop to save him just as the Uber is fading from Bull. Natural's not sure who to shoot. He's going to go for a couple of targets here, but hasn't managed to get a frag yet. Neither have the rest of his team, who tried to go up against the French flank and got absolutely crushed there.
Yeah, that was F2 was in the right side, really, really close, and when they Ubered, he sort of stayed in, but the problem is, I think it was Crizzle, he was playing heavy, he was about 120, 180 HP, so when he was joining into the fight, he pretty much died straight away, and the health on the Frenchies were a lot better. They were more spread out. It was just a bit of a poor Reba, but Team Mac tries to go in. They're a player down, so they should be able to start getting second for free. There's a 20% advantage in Lego's favour. It depends on how they want to sort of play it out. If I was them, actually it's actually crits from Lego, sorry I didn't see that. So
nice.
They're going to have to use this pretty much straight away. They're literally going to have to go for the medic drop. If they don't get it, they can maybe recycle, but it depends on how many players they lose on this. I think they're going to go out main door, which may not work out the best, but we'll see how it goes.
Gotta watch the full perspective here. The crits has been popped. His first stick, he's looking for the sniper. Snipes Flippy with a crit sticky. Now he's just shooting off sticks wildly, puts them on the point, trying to drop players down there, but it looks like the scouts are going to cap that one anyway, and the crits catching LBC by surprise there. F2 leading his team onto the scoreboard. It's going to be 2-1 here as we go to the fourth middle. And a little bit of a sea change, maybe a momentum shift here for Lego. Can they come back into this war?
Yes, they can.
Yes.
Dr. Phil is going to be the man to do it, as he may be stuck in lower lobby, but this is just a ploy. He may be very weak, but it's still just a ploy. He's going to be healed by F2 now, but again, the entirety of Lego seem to be stuck in, as Zen actually goes around and takes out Bull. But now Crizzle and Zen have both been taken out, and it looks like the Frenchies are going to take this. I think they should cut their losses, heal up with F2 and then go in, which it looks like they are doing, but again, they're all in one side as T-Mac just goes in behind.
Take behind.
Yeah.
I was going to say eggs on, but I just saw the red outline through the walls there on my hacks plugin of Tech walking in from behind that little lower entrance in the lobby.
I mean, I said T-Mac. I didn't even know T-Mac switched to demo, so what a surprise. I thought T-Mac was playing demo for the entirety 2 maps. Yeah. One of those people that have the name begin with T. But it was actually... I think Lego could have played that a lot better. They were all bunched up on the left, and as we saw, Tech just walked in behind, cleaned up pretty much all of them, but I said it last game, in this game as well, it is literally just the flank that seems to be losing these important sections when they have a massive advantage.
They tried the same strategy as the last middle, keep 4 in the lobby and hope that your 2 aggressive players get lucky, but it ended up in a 4-on-4 and they didn't have any position. And then they thought, oh well, let's go into this. But they didn't realise that Tech was from behind. There comes the Uber though, as Bull is going to pop off with his Uber van. He's leading forward here with Captain Hacks, Pierre Le Mercenary, and they've managed to kill Phil for their troubles. But look at the health on the LBC side. A lot of them are super weak. 3 down right now as Bull gets hunted down there by Natural. Helberg gets Pierre, but Demul will avenge him. So a big advantage here for F2 and Lego as they start to move out here from their own last.
Yeah, this is another reason why I hate Metalworks. The last is very, very easy to defend. It reminds me of the old Snake Water.
There's a spy on the field. Flippy's coming in from behind right now. He's looking at the heavy weapons guy, then bumps into F2. Goes for the face stab, doesn't get it. Thank you, Valve. Thank you, hit registration. Justice was served right there. Flippy goes down. He could have had the heavy pick if he wanted, but opted to go for the medic and sucked out a little bit.
It looks like I'm going to assume, well, I'm going to hope that one of the Frenchies are going to bomb in to try and get the early force. They're 30% behind, so they should be able to block mid or at least contest it. They're in a position to do so, but I don't know if they'll be able to risk it against a heavy. But Lego are just Ubering through. They really need to try and get Bull, but Bull just falls out. They've taken middle, which is good, but you're just going to see the Frenchies just retake mid in a second. It's just going to be one of these trading scenarios again.
I saw Phil walking in to the red lobby there, and he was Ubering right, and there was stickies in front of him, but he could see the enemy combo, and he just hesitated for a second. I don't know if he'd just gone in there and tried to trade for damage. He might have gotten lucky with a few frags, but he backed out, and now he's not really doing much. They haven't even managed to force the Uber here as the LBC walk in and cap the point for free. They even get a Crizzle frag into the bargain. He's going to respawn in 5 seconds, but Lego will have their Uber in time to defend this second point, but I'm not sure how effective that's going to be.
The flank is pretty much collapsed as well, as there's quite a few players on Lego's alley, but it's just a nice Uber trade. Dr. Phil gets actually a pretty awesome pipe on Bull to take him down, but I think at the moment it's actually working in Lego's favour. Well, I say it is actually as it has, as Tech is the only one to get out along with Demul. Again, it was actually, it's a bit weird. I didn't think it would work out that well because Lego literally had no flank because Crizzle got taken down. They had 2 of the Frenchies in alley, so they always had a health pack to go on to. But it actually works out quite well for them in the end. They're doing pretty well. Then we're going to be pushing on to their second. Hopefully they can make a better showing than they did last time. But his teammate that gets taken down early, which isn't going to help him at any point.
Oh, look at this bombing from Pierre! Forces F2 up against the wall and sends another rocket into his face. He's going to get that medic pick right now. All LBC really need to focus on is keeping their medic alive, but there's a scout pressuring him. Oh, and a soldier jumps up as well, but somehow Bull just steps onto the lower side, onto that pipe at the right moment to avoid that rocket splash. Bull survives, and he's going to keep his team ahead in this Uber race.
Both of the teams seem to be struggling to push into second, which I can understand why, because it's a bit of a hectic.
Look at Flippy, aggressive sniper here. Pushed all the way up, pops the shot off to F2, but doesn't connect.
That was upsetting. But it's a sniper versus sniper. I think Hellberg's gone sniper here. Be interesting to see which one comes out on top. But this point is actually quite sniper friendly. You get some good sight lines. You can actually see from lobby onto the top entrance and vice versa. So, but the Frenchies have Ubered in from lower. They haven't really been able to do anything, but they have created a lot of space. But they're not really picking up any frags at the moment. But teammate gets taken down to Dr. Phil, and I think Lego are now just going to be able to recontest it. The Frenchies are pretty much all bunched up on that alley, and Zen's actually did a good job creating a bit of space. And then we've got Natural coming on the heavy that's moving on to lobby.
Phil jumps high around the alley there, but it doesn't really land that much damage. Now Zen is, or sorry, Natural playing solo heavy on the floor there, trying to go to the toe of the side, but the mill jumps to avoid that minigun fire, and we'll get the frag onto him as well as Zen. There's the revenge though from Hellberg, going to take out Demul, but the rest of LBC have backed off on the middle. I'm sure they're aware that they're winning right now. They could park the bus, but I really can't imagine any French team ever doing that.
I think it's just going to be playing around the snipers, seeing who gets to pick first and going on that. I would like to see Lego be a little bit more aggressive. They're still a round down, but well, they are a round down, so they should be playing a little bit more forward. Flippy takes out Zen with a pretty decent headshot, and now it's an Uber situation on Valley. Quite a few Lego players do get dragged in, which does force F2 to multi when he really didn't. And Hellberg takes out Captain Hacks on the flank, who's doing pretty well. He's going to be sniping from Valley this time, and he just misses the shot on Bull there. Hits him for 50 HP, but wasn't able to get a headshot. And Crizzle takes down Bull anyway, so it's actually a very, very, very good push from Lego. If they played like this in the first game, well, obviously it'd be closer, but they actually seem to be playing more as a team. Their pushes seem to be a little bit more coordinated. They're not really getting picked off on the flank as much. But it does look like they are stepping up their game quite a bit now.
Yeah, maybe the fact that Hellberg and Zen have been off-classing at various points in the sort of recent passages of play. You saw Hellberg on sniper and Zen on heavy. It's made them a little bit harder to pick, like they're not really on the flank necessarily, they're near their medic. There's sniper shots being traded though as Flippy gets Zen. Hellberg responds with a headshot onto Demul, so it's a scout down a pace here. There's an Uber coming in now. Oh, Bull went down. Who killed Bull right there? Was that the bombing with the charge?
Yeah. Zen gets taken, Hellberg gets taken down as well.
And F2.
I like the fact that T-Mac actually goes for the sniper. They've been dealing with Hellberg a lot more. Even though Lego pushed in with Uber, T-Mac just literally just went behind them and killed the sniper. Like, just take him out pretty much straight away. Which is what I'd like to see Lego doing on the opposite side, but they haven't really been playing against Flippy as well. There's been quite a few situations where they've just been gifting headshots, and again, Flippy's on the right side. Going through Valley, he's probably going to get a few easy shots off as well. Lego are falling back a little bit more, but the fact that he's able to get so much space and nobody's contesting him is a bit... They're literally just, you know, just gifting him as much room as he wants to snipe, which is just going to make him more comfortable.
Yeah, it is sort of Cribbs' responsibility as well, and right now Hellberg has gone back to scout, and there's an Uber advantage here for F2, but I've seen Lego happy to give away these sort of 15 to 20% Uber advantages, not really push off them, and they're not really gearing up to get themselves into any position to push promptly at the moment either. There's Flippy with an aggressive peek into lobby, and Crizzle was there with the black box.
They got him pretty well without Ubering. They've only just Ubered now. But now the Frenchies have just got an Uber. F2's been juggled in, he's not going to get out of this. No, he died. There's some decent cap time from Lego into second, but they've only left with 2 players. A very, very weak Zen and a rather upsetting looking natural.
Bull's gone down. So that will slow things down again, but as long as these trades keep happening, LBC are still in the winning position. They're 2-1 up here with 6 minutes left on the clock. There's another headshot from Flippy. He's going to find Crizzle, the roamer, who should be shutting him down or pressuring him. He was first to spawn there, first to die. And he will spawn again in 5 seconds, but right now, Bull has just come back on the field with the crits Krieg. He's significantly behind F2, who has 50% Uber right now as he hits 25 on the crits, but it'll probably end up as a Uber versus crits scenario here. Let's watch how this one's going to unfold.
I think the Frenchies are probably going to let Lego take mid and then try and get a force, and then they'll probably push back onto middle with crits. Well, I predict that's how it's going to play out. It could obviously change because Flippy's probably going to drop F2 or some ridiculous thing like that, knowing him. But this map is very, very crits friendly, and there's a pause.
Oh yes, another delightful pause. That's
Wonderful.
the third one of our cast so far.
I didn't have anything else planned tonight anyway, apart from football, going to bed, having a shower, eating dinner, and all that lot. But, you know, who minds? But I think this map is, as I was saying, this map is very, very friendly for crits because it's quite close. You're pretty much confined to all these smaller spaces before you push out. Oh, my dinner's arrived.
Lovely. Meals on wheels, is it?
Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, I think on this map you can see there's quite a few corridors that they have to squeeze through before entering into a bigger space. So on middle you've got Valley, which forces your team to be bunched up. Lobby, your team is pretty much bunched up, so it's really, really good for surprise crits from soldiers. We saw earlier from Lego getting their only round by crits push onto last. It really does force your team, the enemy team, to sort of be more confined. I'm quite surprised we haven't seen crits played more often, especially from Lego, because it worked well for them.
Yeah, it's sort of easier to survive as well, like as a medic. You know, you've got a lot of sharp corners here and can find spaces where people can't really jump and chase after you. You can just sort of run away, use the geometry to your advantage.
Yeah, and it's quite generous on the health packs as well. You've got one by the truck on mid. On lobby, you've got another health pack on second. You've got a big health pack underneath the point, and there's a few small ones positioned around the lobby as well. You've even got a health pack in alley, so the entire map it's actually pretty decent because medics do survive more. But I still hate it.
You hate Metalworks. We get it, buddy. Okay, but we're gonna have to deal with it for another 2 weeks. Well, week 3 is going to be over with this game being played, I think. Maybe another one wild card at summer. But those wild cards have dried up, and after week 4 we will be saying goodbye to Metalworks unless somebody decides to pick it in the playoffs. But we didn't see that last season. I don't expect we're going to see it again for the reasons you've stated.
We were tempted to pick it up in Metalworks, but we're a pretty lame team, but we don't want to be that team that picks terrible maps. You know, like the sort of team that picks Fright and CP well in the olden days. We don't want to be hated. It was already bad enough having Bite on the team.
There's no shame in trying to win, man. Do whatever you can to win. Pick shit maps.
Yeah, it's like Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. They just picked Viaduct against us and just had Zebasai go sniper for 30 minutes.
And they won?
Yeah, every time.
Deal with it.
It was probably like the most, I think, Viaduct, I think it was TLR versus, what's the name? Cause We Can, when Waters just went sniper and got 40 frags and just completely ripped TLR apart just from sniping for the entire game. That's what Zebo did to us. Just completely wrecked us for about 30 minutes. It was
Do you also hate Viaduct then? Is it number 2 in your hated list? But
no, I like Viaduct. I actually like that map. I just can't stand. Well, I like this one. There's many things that I would change. Middle was just a bit flat, and last is a bit flat. But second is actually a pretty. I mean, as you can see from the pushes, it's actually quite evenly matched. It creates some exciting scenarios because it's quite an open second point where fights happen. But anyway, back to the actual game at hand. As But actually, this is a surprise crit. That's actually quite surprising that he used it that early. And actually, tech gets Dr. Phil, and it was actually quite strange how it worked out. And Captain Hax just goes on F2, takes out natural, and looks like to be picking up a third nose, and just is able to stay on the remainder HP. But I have no idea how it's going because my HUD is broken. I'm going to guess that all 6 players are down because Dr. Phil is now in spawn.
Yeah, Phil is all the way back there. There's 3 up for LBC. They're pushing ahead right now. It's pretty good. I like their usage. There's just a sniper or demo man underneath. Sorry, Dr. Phil is spamming stickies up, trying to do damage here to these 3 aggressive French players, but he's actually ended up getting cleaned up himself by tech. Nobody was there in time to follow up on his damage. A little bit of a hero play, a roll of the dice there, try and make something happen. He's going to spawn in time to defend last, but he mightn't have any stick set up, and it looks like Tech is the one timing out right now. He's been hanging in the air doing the air bicycle before he disconnects, and that's going to slow down the push here from LBC and give Lego some respite here on last.
I think the crits was risky what they did on mid, and it did pay off by taking out Dr. Phil. I think Lego are starting to try and push out because they need to, but they're going to be pushing out directly into a crit, which I'm not a smart man, but that's not a good idea. Although they do force it early. Tech only takes out Crizzle, but he's going to have to go through main. Is it able to get anyone? No, it is not. But there's quite a few frags that have been picked up, and they do force the Uber from Lego. This could be looking like a round for the Frenchies at the moment, but Hellberg on the flank is doing well, taking out Tech and Bull, and it's just Flippy in lower lobby, and T-Mac in lobby as well, just trying to slow down the push from Lego.
Yeah, Flippy was in deep there. He had natural on about 50 health, but he was out of ammo, and a few others of the supporting Lego cast came into view and he just backed out. But he's definitely been a thorn in their side. He continues the aggression here. He's in deep again on the right hand side, but Hellberg is going to come up behind him and put an end to his antics. Right now there's a sniper on the field by the name of Demul. It seems like they're doing it tag team style here between him and Flippy. It's now his turn to snipe again, and I hear headshots ringing out, but I don't see any frags coming in yet.
Yeah, Lego unfortunately they were trying to push out from last so much. The players were scattered, now the spawns are scattered, and now they're just going to die. I think it was a bit of a mistake for them to continue trying to push them to second. They just needed to cut their losses, stay in last, get all the players up and then push. But because they were just pushing in waves and waves and waves, there was no support from the spawns. But they've got 2 minutes 40 seconds to get 2 rounds. Now, I've never seen anything interesting happen on this map as yet, so I don't know if it's actually possible.
Chris Krieg for F2, maybe this was his strategy. He wanted to throw that round so they could have a chance at 2 middles here.
Yeah.
And it looks like, again, the Lego combo are going to play very defensive in lobby. We see Crizzle jumping in late here, but sort of got knocked forward by a rocket himself and tried to go in onto the medic, but ended up only having Tech as a viable target there and couldn't do enough damage to kill him because he was getting the heals the whole time. Crizzle's gone down, but in the meantime, Pierre's been cleaned up, and so have T-Mac. That double soldier aggression that we see so often from LBC, not proven effective this time. Here comes the crits! The first stick, he doesn't cover the distance from Phil.
Bull's a 98%.
Phil's giving him the jukes, unbelievable. Phil sucking out there, and Bull coming up with the moves there to survive and pop that charge off. What?
They, because Lego was sitting in lower lobby for so long, like, none of their players were really taking any damage apart from the ones that are actually out of mid. And because, well, the thing is that the Frenchies they were about 10% behind, and they had nobody building in lobby. They weren't doing anything in lobby Lego, and there was no one building, so they just lost a relatively big crit advantage. And that's definitely has cost it. Yeah.
He still had like 3 stickies before Bull had a chance to pop that charge off. There's F2 going to go in, that will surely spill curtains here for Lego's attempt at a route to come back here. LBC could just sit back if they want, but I suspect they're going to go for a 4th round on the board here.
I think at the moment, well, there's only 3 players left from last. I mean, unless Zen can actually do something. I've never seen him snipe actually, but he's going to be switching back to scout just to sort of like maybe cut the losses and just go, no, we don't want to lose 4-1. Let's not make it more of an embarrassing scoreline. But I think they have got some
Bull
spawns.
coming in behind, gets one uber saw. Natural finally realizes that someone is sawing him in the back. Does turn around and cleans up the medic, and maybe LBC won't get that 4th round. 37 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunately pretty much all but done. It was a good
Who do you
attempt
think's
from
gonna win
Lego.
this map, you know?
I reckon Lego could probably pull it back. They just need to start pushing out now.
My money's on the golden cap. I wish the straw poll thing was working. I would definitely vote that right now, but
I think Lego just need to push out now, and I think they could still maybe nick around and tie up. But they seem to be content with sitting on us.
T-Mac's going to deny them with long-range soldier rocket spam here. That will cue Natural to move forward here, and he's going to win that big one-on-one, but that wasn't enough. The rest of his team couldn't deliver and push out from last in 10 seconds and take 2 rounds, so it will end 3-1 in favour of LBC. We're going to go and look at the logs now. We might even have some interviews afterwards, but I didn't arrange it, you know, so let's just hope these guys are getting trained and they'll know that it's time for interviews.
I do like listening to French people speak. You get them all in here. I imagine that they're all really happy and jovial with their performance. Just like I am.
It's not really worth talking about, to be honest. Oh wow, look at Tech's damage. The first 3 numbers spell out elite. I think
he was actually really, really awesome on there, man. I was quite surprised. As I said on the first map, I did think it would be sort of like a hindrance, but you couldn't really tell. They were playing quite strong. He hit some really, really awesome pipes as well, so there wasn't really anything that he faltered on. Dr. Phil again also did pretty well, but I think over the 2 maps, the only person that sort of like, I think Tech has been the person that sort of impressed me more, and actually I would say Captain Hacks as well. I've been a bit critical of him in the past, and sort of I didn't really think he sort of brings that much to the table, but he has actually, he performed pretty solidly across both maps. It was quite a solid pair. Managed to get the picks when it was needed the most.
You must go to the Commander X school of TF2, calling out Captain X in the pre-season. Said he couldn't roam, and now you're saying he's not as good as Tech.
I don't think he can roam. I still don't think he can roam, but he can definitely pocket, and he is a strong player. But the thing with a roaming soldier, that you need a bit of flair to actually sort of like do well and put yourself above the rest. I mean, like MLM, they're not really doing that well. Which pretty much speaks for itself anyway.
That might be for other reasons though, you know.
Yeah,
everybody
actually,
point their finger at Droso.
Yeah, I did forget. They do actually have Drosopher. I'm sure he's partaken in many pushes that he wasn't meant to be a part of. But yeah, I think Zen also played really, really well for Lego. I think he kept them in the game quite often, and he actually sort of, he seemed by far probably one of the best performers on the team along with Dr. Phil.
There was another pretty disappointing performance from Lego. Like they just,
I wouldn't say it's that disappointing. I mean, against Dota they did pretty well. I mean, they did win.
But then they lost the last map 5-0. They just seem to like.
Yeah, I think it's just their play style. They seem to sort of like enjoy maps a lot more, which are in more confined spaces.
They don't believe, man.
Yeah.
They don't believe in themselves.
I think on a map like Badlands, they're forced to look at the flank more, which we saw on Badlands. They got quite a lot against like Dota as well on Gully Wash. The flank is pretty open, whereas on Granary, when they actually, I think they won. Yeah, they did win the Golden Cap. You're sort of forced into more confined spaces. It's easier to dictate the flow. Their flanks are closer together, so they can't really get killed from behind or lose it as much. I think that's sort of the only place where they just sort of lacked a bit. It's just their flank. I
just think they need to play with a bit more spunk, man. You know, just go for it sometimes. Maybe it's that, like you're saying, it's a flank issue. Like if they want to play this very passive style with their combo, I guess they're looking to Crizzle to make the big plays, and he did occasionally manage to get in deep, maybe find Bull, but more often than not he was